Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Episode number 42 of the 9 to 5 Fitness Podcast. Gab, how are you? How'd you sleep?
Mate, I'm very well, and I slept absolutely shockingly. I think Sleep Cycle said 3 hours and 50 minutes awake.
We had a bit of a crack last night.
Yeah, it was meant to be like a few quiet beers, wasn't it?
We're going for 2 beers at the beach.
Yeah.
And we're just going to enjoy the sunset. And then we'll head to like one pub.
Yeah. Next thing you know, it's a bloody tour of Melbourne, mate.
Tour of Melbourne.
Circus
but
bus.
I had a good time though.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
Yeah, it was a great time.
But we pulled in, around like 1 a.m., 2 a.m? 3
a.m.
Yeah.
mate.
Oh, did we? Yeah.
Not that late, but...
Anyway, I'm back on it.
Yeah. You gotta... If you guys don't know already, we're not sponsored, but hopefully we do get sponsored. The drink of the summer
is
the negative 196 by Suntory. Mate, this is unreal.
double lemon.
Honestly, I really hope we do pick up a sponsor from them. Or
I don't like our chances because everyone's doing it.
Yeah, but it is like lowest calorie thing. Tastes like a Sprite. No, not a Sprite, a Solo.
Yeah.
And 1.6 standards. If you guys are underage, then please click off this podcast or just skip forward like 2 minutes. But yeah. Unreal. We've just been buying quite a few of them.
It was nice to go out last night, wasn't it?
It was.
We had a bit of a go and we saw a lot of the lovely podcast listeners, in fact. So a few people came up and said g'day, which we really appreciate. I'm enjoying going out, that's for sure.
Mate, it's lots of fun, honestly. It's like you got mates everywhere now.
Yeah, all the boys.
Yeah.
Everyone, Anyway, it was good, and I'm glad we're sober and we are ready to tackle this podcast. Now, you're a lot more upbeat today compared to the last podcast.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get into it in a bit, but in general, feeling good?
Mate, feeling really good, really optimistic, really hopeful, just back on my grind again kind of thing.
Yeah, it's been fantastic to watch. Obviously, we live together and breakups suck, but you can get so much out of them, and I think you've definitely done that.
Yeah.
Gyms are open.
Yeah, it's been unreal to get back to the gym, to be honest, because, I don't know, it's like a whole different mentality when I'm in there.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just hits different, doesn't it? Have you been finding the same?
Yeah, totally. Like, I trained pretty hungover this morning and had, like, an incredible session. And I think it's just that thing of having people around. For some reason, you train a little bit better. I know you've got, like, actual mates at your gym, which is game-changing, I reckon.
Yeah, all the powerlifting boys there. It's really good fun because I'm, like, the small fish there.
Yep.
They've all got these fat deadlifts. It's just incredible to watch. And I'm there doing my little baby weights.
You're pretty weak.
Yeah, it really pushes me. You know, sometimes go out for dinner after, big feeds. It's just a really great environment to be in.
It's what it's all about.
Yeah.
New car?
New car, not for me, mate. Did you get one?
I picked up a new car, ladies and gentlemen. A
Toyota Corona.
Toyota Corona. Yeah, Toyota Crown. No, I got a 2013 Toyota Land Cruiser 79 series. It's a single cab. GXL, baby.
Game changer build, mate.
Game changing build is coming.
Yep.
I'm thinking I've got a fair bit to do to it, but it came in like it was kind of the thing of like buying the worst house on the best street. Like I looked at the car, it was kind of put up for sale in like not a way that I would to sell a car.
Yeah, it just didn't do it justice, did it?
Yeah, like got to negotiate a fair bit and went and picked it up. So very exciting. I'm glad. I'm actually like quite proud of myself for owning it. And thanks to everyone who supported 9 to 5.
Yeah, and I suppose when you go back to that saying of worst house on the nicest street, if you guys don't know, for a bit of context, these Land Cruisers are like one of the most sought after cars at the moment because they're just indestructible.
Yeah.
They last forever. They look sick. They're just great cars. And they're like, they've gone up in price so much, haven't they?
So there's one thing called the Land Cruiser tax, which is like what people talk about before COVID. And then you've also got a COVID tax.
Yeah.
So they're taxed like crazy, but...
They're up for these ridiculous prices, but you reckon you got yourself a good deal. We won't disclose exact financial figures here.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Yeah, as you say, worst house on the best street. It's got good bones. You can do a whole lot to it.
Yeah, and it'll take me a while. I'll tick things off, but at this stage, I'm going to lift it up to the sky and bloody put 35s on it and a new snorkel and a winch and send it.
Yeah, and this actually isn't a car podcast episode, this one.
Yeah, we should actually get into it.
Yeah, we've probably got a whole lot of people clicking off now because of all this wicked terminology, but...
Please stay. We'll actually get into it. So this is Breakup 2.1.
Yeah.
NTF Breakup 2.1. This is like a follow-up from last week's podcast. If you haven't listened to that, go and check it out. We got like heaps of messages from people saying, telling us their stories, plenty of questions and stuff in regards to relationships. And we're going to do our best to answer those. We're going to do our best to dissect them and have that conversation. So, yeah.
Honestly, there's like so much, like a whole lot of response and engagement from people surrounding this topic, whether it be like messages of support, which I really appreciate, guys. Thank you. If I didn't respond to you, like I probably did read it, I just can't respond to them all, but I really appreciate the love and support, and we're doing well, and we're all going to get through it together. So thank you guys so much for those messages. Also, a lot of emails, responses, replies just from people with their own situations, their own kind of queries, which is why we're doing a 2.1, because there is just a lot to unravel and a lot of different scenarios, which I think a lot of people will find helpful for us to kind of discuss. Because like I was looking up out there, you know, when I was kind of struggling a bit, like, you know, how to get over your ex, or, you know, some additional information in podcasts. And mate, it is so bad. Like the standard of information out there and help, it's like did the opposite.
It's also like, I find it's very specific to like older people, because they've already been through life and they've made they don't want to make any more mistakes. It's like, move on, I need to go find a wife.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you're young, we're 23 and you know, so on, you can make your own mistakes, and that information is actually a little bit toxic sometimes. So we wanted to just talk about experiences, and we found that is the best way to make people feel as though they're not alone. As we said, we've had some really incredible emails that like one almost brought me to tears. It was so incredible. It was like, I mean, I'm not going to read it out, but just like the support and the fact that we're actually making an impact is why we're going to keep talking about it.
Mate,
so
we could make a whole separate podcast just on breakups in this discussion, I reckon.
Could literally talk for hours on
Yeah.
it. Maybe we will.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Cool. All right. So we're 1 week on from the last podcast.
Yeah. How are you?
Well, last podcast, I was a bit of a Debbie Downer, wasn't I?
Yeah, you're a bit flat, mate. I said pull it together.
Yeah.
Men don't cry.
Slap across the face. Toughen up,
Yeah,
mate.
fuck, this is weird. I don't know.
Yeah, don't show any emotion.
Nah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. And as the producer of the show, I was clapping my hands going, this is fantastic. You know, tears on camera, it always looks good.
They were real tears, guys, as well. It was
they were
real,
actually
raw emotion.
But yeah, so you're a lot better now.
Yeah.
Like, all jokes aside, genuinely good job, mate. It's difficult to open yourself up like that. What's helped? Why are you feeling better now? What's the go?
Yeah, just before we get into that, I didn't want to like desensitize the issue. Like, of course, men can cry. Of course, it's a real issue. Of course, you need to be vulnerable and display this emotion, and it's a healthy way of dealing with it, kind of facing the music. So
Let it out.
We're just joking when we say that. Like,
obviously,
let it all out. You'll feel a whole lot better. But feeling a whole lot better than like this time last week. I think I've just like realized a whole lot of stuff. Like, I don't
it's
know.
like that perspective thing, maybe.
Do you remember in the Simpsons movie where like Homer he's with like an indigenous like South American or something? I think it was like in Alaska or something, and he has like an epiphany.
Yeah.
I feel like I had that, and just like my mind was like realizing things, and I jot them all down, and I just figure stuff out, and I feel a whole lot better after it.
Yep.
I discovered this technique which I've been using. It's been a genuine superpower for moving on.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't want to like say what it is just because I know like how powerful it is, and people might not necessarily agree with it. It's not like that bad, but
Yeah. It's just like a technique that you do.
I spent like a few hours on it. Like, it was a really tough process, but
Working away. Yep.
like, I'm so glad I did it, and it was a genuine superpower for moving on.
Putting hours into yourself is actually really essential in a breakup as well. Like, you need to actually put the hours. You can't just keep going out like, you know, push it to the side. Like, no amount of drinks is going to fix it.
Sweep it under the carpet kind of thing.
Yeah, kicking the can down the road.
Yeah, through this process, there's been periods where I felt like I've hit rock bottom. Like, there'd be times, this is going to be pretty open here, but I'm into like meditation for really getting on top of this and facing the music and scheduling a bit of silence and just sitting there with your own thoughts. And there's been times where I've been like bawling my eyes out in my little meditation room and like feeling like this is rock bottom here, but it only goes up from here kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel as though that is the best way to deal with these feelings head on, tackle it head on. Like, don't sweep it under the carpet. You need to just let out a few tears. You need to feel these feelings, give them the oxygen they need to breathe, and just don't ignore them.
Yep. And of course, this goes for anything other than, like, doesn't have to be a breakup necessarily. Like, this is anything, you know, we're going through breakups as well. But I think that's a fantastic way to deal with it. Have you been like writing things down as well? That's
very much so, mate. I've been running out of ink in my pens and running out of space in my notebooks.
Quentin Tarantino over here coming to...
Yeah, I've actually even been transcribing them all into an Excel spreadsheet. So like I formalize my realizations and things like that. So, and that has helped an infinite amount.
You know, another good thing I reckon to do is kind of like enjoying the process, like really feeling those emotions, and you know, like really kind of like locking in. Like this is almost a task now, and it's a good way to kind of get over things and actually enjoy the fact you're sad. Like it's an emotion, enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, you need to realize and understand and feel those low lows to really enjoy the high highs. A close friend of mine actually gave me this analogy that's really helped me through this process, and staying disciplined is view it like a calorie deficit. Like you're staying disciplined. Like if you veer from it, it's kind of like you're eating a block of chocolate or something like that, and it's not helping the process of moving on. And that has turned me into demon mode. And I don't know, you've given me a challenge, and let's get it kind of thing.
You're going to crack in. No, it's good to see, and it's fantastic that you really are kind of like ticking over. You've been doing a lot of cycling as well.
Yeah. There's been times where like I get up in the morning and like I'm sad about things, like not feeling good at all. Just like can't stop thinking about it, can't get my mind off it.
Yeah.
And like the other day, that like 8-hour ride I did, it was just awesome. But like the start of it, I was feeling real shit. By the end of it, I'd forgotten all of my issues in the world. It was unreal.
You get that clarity as well. Yeah. That's like the big thing with cardio.
It was like, because the particular ride I did, it was like just hills and hills and hills, and it's like I replaced the pain of the breakup with the pain of the hills, and it worked wonders, honestly.
Do you find like that thing, like this is just conversation now, but like do you find that thing where it's like you're almost punishing yourself?
Oh, it's great.
I love that. When you're out like doing any form of cardio, and it's like if you're flat, you're in a bit of a mood or whatever, it's like I'm gonna fucking punish myself here.
It's like if you don't finish this hill, you'll never get a girlfriend again. Like no wonder she broke up with you. You can't bench this amount of weight, like you weak, like you piece of
freak. Yeah, it's like you're pedaling, man. Like you're gritty.
You're working on pure emotion there.
Like, that's good fun. That's when you get the best results. That's when the Strava's looking absolutely clean.
I also wanted to just elaborate on the techniques I've been using for my own state of mind in the mindfulness kind of sector.
Yep.
Like, so I'll meditate for an allocated amount of time, and I'll sit there, not guided, just sit there with your own feelings, eyes closed, comfortable, kind of quiet area, and just sit there. I put a timer on my Garmin watch, and I just sit there, eyes closed. I feel like always better after it.
Are you giving into like specific thoughts, or are you like trying to do that thing where you have a clear head the whole time?
Yeah.
Like do you push thoughts away, or do you just accept the thoughts that come through?
So the way I learned to do it, I can't remember his name. He's like famous for like his contributions to happiness. He's been on Joe Rogan. I think his name might be like Neville or something like that.
Yeah, you sent me a video. Yeah.
Really good. But basically he explains it as though you want to sit there and thoughts will come and go. But when a thought comes in, you don't want to give it too much time and energy. You just want to acknowledge that the thought has passed through your brain.
Yeah.
And you just want to let it keep passing. And then another thought will come. And then you just let it pass. And then another thought will come. So you don't give them any time. And whereas if you're consciously thinking about something, I don't think you're getting the most out of the practice.
Yeah.
So that's
we do that all the time. Yeah. You know, that's day-to-day life.
Yeah.
It's just constantly thinking about something.
Exactly. So I think this is just a really important space. And like through these allocated times of silence, I realize certain things. And it's like you almost have to take a step back to realize something. And I will then jot it down and use the journaling and just let my mind run free after that. And that's been really important for me.
Yep. Yeah, mate, it's good to see. Like the work you're putting in is fantastic, and it's got to be done. To be honest, so if you're going through the same thing, like knuckle in. It's go time, baby. Yeah. Like let's have a crack here. Obviously, allow yourself to be sad.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to touch on anything else there, but we've got a fair few questions.
Yeah, we do. Other thing I just wanted to mention is just it's a really good time to realize just how many good mates you do have and how great your family is. I know I'm in a pretty blessed situation with that and got some mates and family that would do anything for me and always want the best for me. You know, keep those circles tight kind of thing, and your support network will be there for you. Yeah,
definitely. It's good to know you have people around you, and you know, if you don't have as many people around you, we are here as well. Yeah. Listen to our podcast and tune in and dial in and let us know what
you're not alone through this.
100%. Let's get into some questions. Yeah. So we put it up on the story, like relationship stuff. Ask away. It's all going to be anonymous, of course. First question is, I blocked my ex on all platforms. I was just trying to move on. Is that toxic?
I've got a certain opinion on this. I don't think there's a right answer to it. I personally don't believe in blocking unless they're like genuinely harassing you. For me, I'm someone that if I see them tag their new person in the thing, I don't really fucking care, to be honest.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm not that affected by it. Like, I won't be someone who'll go and stalk their social media or look at photos of them or like, I don't know. I don't feel as though I believe in the whole blocking thing. Whereas I feel as though other people are very different. They don't want that reminder. They don't want that temptation to communicate with them. They don't want the other person communicating back to them. So I can definitely understand it from that perspective too.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a case by case kind of answer. I mean, for me, it's worked perfectly, to be honest. Like, it's maybe not even blocking, like even just unfollowing. Obviously, if their account's on private, then you've got no chance of like seeing things, and that's probably helped me the most. So like we can't really give you a straight up answer for that one. I'd say it's situation, but if you find yourself always looking at their socials and always like chasing them kind of thing, then it's probably a good idea to block.
I'll give you guys a bit of personal information here.
Here we go.
It might be, I don't know if I should say it, but
I can always cut it out.
Yeah, I'll say it anyway, but I think every kind of relationship or thing that I've been in, like the person has ended up blocking or deleting me.
You're a toxic dog.
What's wrong with me, mate? Why do they hate me that much?
You're a dog, mate.
I'm a dog?
You're a dog. Nah, you're not a dog.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just the way it is. They can't handle it.
They can't. They don't want the smoke,
They
mate.
don't want the smoke.
Yeah, as Playboy Cardi says, I guess you're not feeling me. Not feeling the energy. Baby girl, we can do plan A. Baby girl, we can do plan B. That's from
Plan
the
A,
song
plan
Flex
B.
by Playboy Cardi.
Yeah.
Amazing. If you haven't listened to it, get around it.
Yep, good. All right, next one. I mean, sorry we didn't really answer your question properly, mate, but yeah, it's kind of case by case. Most of these are going to be case by case. So the next one is, how can I best break up with my girlfriend so we can both stay friends?
Brother or sister, sorry to break it to you, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, nah, it isn't going to happen, is it? I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay, from some of the things I've heard, relationships shouldn't start from like being friends first and then getting into a relationship. From what I've heard, like the most effective relationships are like you have a romantic or intimate connection to begin with rather than like a friendship.
Yep.
And like you see that in movies as well, where like friends are scared to get into a relationship with each other because they don't want to ruin the friendship.
Too much
and I
at
think
stake.
it's founded off of different kind of principles. In saying that, like I don't think it's like a what's the word? A deal breaker or anything like that. But from what I have heard, like the inception should be kind of you're both attracted to each other in that intimate kind of.
Yeah. You know, I back that. I don't subscribe to too much of those, like, you know, like it has to be like you just can't control it. Like if you're in love with someone, then chase and whatever. Like you only live once, kind of thing. But in terms of like can you break up and then still be friends, or how can you best do that? I mean, look, try and be I suppose explain it to them. If someone broke up with me, I don't want to be friends with them.
Nah.
So there's two people involved in this, which makes it a lot more difficult. So it's like you may want to be friends with them, but if they're like in love with you, then like no chance. Like I'm saying, get lost.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it also depends on the kind of relationship you're in, to be honest. Like if you guys are like kind of friendly as is, you know, like not too lovey-dovey, then maybe it'll be a bit easier. But
also, if you like share the same friendship group as well, like that can often make things a bit messier, and you may kind of have to be amicable and friends to some extent, which obviously, you know, throws a few spanners in the works.
It does throw a few spanners in the work. But yeah, I'd say explain to them, break it down to them, and tell them how you're feeling and that they're a good person. You want to still be friends with them, but it's a difficult sitch.
Yeah, I'd say, I can only base it off of my past experiences, but staying friends, I don't know. Hard if it's like a really long-term committed relationship. I think there's just a lot of water under the bridge kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the question is, how can I do it? Like, how can I best do it to make sure we're still friends? So, like, I'd say a message, but otherwise I wouldn't recommend it for sure.
How can I think the best way to break up with someone is in person. Like that's the most respectful way. Yeah. And don't start attacking or criticizing them or being be nice, and nice is a nothing word, but just be like a good bloke or good woman about it kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'd say don't like fall often like when you break up with someone, they're gonna try and like almost guilt you into staying there. Like you said you do this or like we did that, and try not to fall into that. Just like be as.
I think the worst way to break up with someone is probably over text.
Yeah, you're a dog.
Yeah. Am I? Did I do that?
No, you didn't. No, like you are a dog if you break up with someone.
Yeah, you're
text.
A dog. Yeah.
I mean, depends the you're questioning yourself.
Yeah.
It depends the like how long the relationship. Anyway, that's not the question. We got another question here, which I think is quite a good one, and we had a chat before doing this potty. How can you be flirty without being weird?
It's a fine line.
Good question. And I'm still figuring it out.
Yep.
I'm pretty weird, to be honest.
I'm a pretty weird bloke now.
I'm pretty fucking weird. That explains my track record, actually.
Yeah.
I'm weird as. Nah, I think, you want a bit of conviction behind what you're doing. You don't want to be loitering. But then also like a big one is not relying on getting with someone or kissing someone or being with someone on a night out to have a good night.
It's very outcome based, isn't it?
Very outcome based, and I'd say 90% of the time you're going home a bit sad.
Yeah, have you hit your KPIs for the month?
Yeah, no.
If not, hang your head in shame, mate.
Hang your head in shame. Because like we went out last night and like we just went out to have fun together.
Have fun, mate.
Whatever happened.
Yeah.
Not going into details, but whatever happened, and it was a fun night. But end of the day, like if you are going home relying on,
I think the best person you can go home with after a night out
is yourself.
It's
beautiful.
Honestly,
it's
pat yourself up on the back. Enjoy that bed to yourself. Enjoy that 8 hours of subpar sleep because you're intoxicated and your body's going to be processing and can't get that proper REM sleep. But
enjoy it.
Yeah,
you got to
back yourself. You got to love yourself. Honestly,
you must.
Back to the question of how can you be flirty without being weird. I think a big one is really reading the room.
Read the room, brother.
Yep.
Read the fucking room.
Read it well.
She's running away from you. She gave you a wrong number on purpose.
She said, I think my friends are calling me for a reason.
Yeah. Like, don't chase.
Yeah, don't
chase. That's like...
She doesn't want this... Sorry. We need to be more gender neutral in this.
Yeah, we made a point of this.
Yeah, we made I'm really sorry, guys. It's not... We're not deliberately doing it. If she or he doesn't want the smoke, don't let him have it, honestly.
Or they.
Yeah, they. Or they.
Or Z or that. Yeah, don't... You don't need to force the smoke upon them. You can just... You can offer the smoke and say, hey, I'm putting this on the table. But if the response is pretty clear... Real rejection.
Yeah.
Give it up. Don't
force.
Don't harass.
Yeah. I don't know. It's I'd say it's a weird one because there's no like rule book for how to flirt. I'd say just see if there's some chemistry there. If you're a good conversationalist, bit of charm. This is we're talking both genders here. And
that thing of like how can you not be weird? Well, it's like sometimes being weird is like you're a bit kind of mystical and like
mysterious. But then there's weird as in like you say some just weird creepy shit
or like do weird creepy shit.
Yeah, it's like don't like touch them like
until you like got that. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, isn't it?
It is because there is also an element of having to touch that to break that touch barrier at some point.
Fuck, there's so many barriers,
mate. There is so many nuances I have to explain about 17 years of
pain.
Of just details.
Details.
It's I feel like if you know you're on kind of thing.
You kind of know when you're on, I reckon. But then sometimes you don't.
But sometimes you think you're on and you're not on.
Oh, honestly. No. Sometimes you think you're on.
Sometimes you genuinely thought you were on.
I'm on here.
But you're off.
You go, I'm on.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Do you want to get a drink?
Yeah,
I want a drink. Oh, here we go.
Brings a drink back to her boyfriend. They just cleaned you up for $18 for the...
Did you get Jack a drink as well? No? Hey, mate, how are you?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, so we can't really give you an answer there. That's been all of these questions, but...
I feel like some people are good at flirting. Like
You've either got it or you don't.
Yeah.
Rely on other qualities. Oh, another thing is don't talk about yourself too much.
Be an active listener.
Active listening, which is good to do in most situations. And ask them, be interested in them.
You know what I hate?
Tell me.
When you're talking to someone and you ask them a question like, what do you study at uni? Like real icebreaker questions.
Yep.
they just answer you as if they're 12 years old and you're at your family Christmas thing. You're talking to your little cousin,
business,
and they've got no conversation, or no social skills.
Yeah,
and they just like, I'm studying business. Like they don't ask you back. It's
like,
all right.
But maybe, as we were saying before, get the hint.
Or they just could be really like,
true.
I'm not asking you to marry me. Like, just have a conversation, see where it goes, kind of thing.
This isn't a contract.
Yeah.
No, it's a good point. There's so many nuances. To kind of not being weird and just be. At the end of the day, if you are a good person, if you genuinely want like the best for most people, you're gonna be all right. So, don't be weird and don't like touch people. Yeah. Weirdly.
Yeah. It's a real issue with like, particularly guys doing like just creepy, dumb shit at clubs and stuff, like groping girls, and like that is just so not on. Like, and you see it happen, it's just disgusting. Like, for me, when I'm in a club, I'm like there, like wanting to hop out of the way in case like I accidentally get too close to someone, and it is deemed like slight, you know. Try to hop out of the way, you know.
Fucking hate clubs, eh?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Big club and dog. Totally. There's so many. You see them and they're fucking losers. Like they got the like snakeskin leather shoes on.
Yeah, it's just try hard.
Shocking.
So don't be doing that shit. If I see you doing that, I'm gonna bloody pull you by your ear and give you a smack on the head, mate.
Yeah,
honestly.
We'll make sure of it.
Yeah.
Don't king hit anyone though.
No, don't. Yeah. Better ways to go about it. Alrighty, guys. So we got one of our biggest stories that was sent through to our email. We really appreciate you guys sending these stories through. So if you do have like a bit of a longer, more serious one, feel free to send it through. We do get a lot, and some of them they're good, but potentially not good for a podcast.
A little bit too specific sometimes.
Yeah.
Like there's too many nuances. Kind of have to be one of the boys, kind of thing.
Yeah. Just lots of inside jokes. Send them through. We might read them out.
We don't want to scare you off.
So this one goes, morning boys. So you guys answered one of my questions a while back on how to get over a breakup. I will be real and say I did not listen to the advice of Gabe being brutally honest that he was not happy with me going back to my ex.
You did say in a podcast, you said if you don't move on, then
no good, mate.
Yeah.
Disappointed. I continued to go back to hers every weekend after clubbing, and slowly she started to open up about the things she had done after our breakup.
Oh.
Every week, I would be told about a new lad or experience, and it mentally broke me, but also physically with the gym.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, I was in a spiral of every few weeks we would hang out, knowing that it was just that, and we were not getting back together. She was my first girlfriend, so it was hard to let go.
Oh, brother.
A few weeks back, I listened to that podcast where you boys answered my question by saying, block them and don't have contact. You guys said we broke up for a reason, and you were exactly right. Listening to that advice from the podcast has helped me, my gym and mental health life moving forward, and I just wish I listened to it sooner. Not really much of a story, but just felt... Can I even read? Sorry.
No, you're doing well.
Not really much of a story, but just felt like if this was shared, other lads going through the same thing could actually take my advice on not what to do and listen to you boys who have been through it. Never been happier and more content with chasing goals. Never been happier and more content with chasing goals. You're in love with the idea of them, not them.
That's what you said.
Yeah, sorry, I just absolutely butchered that. I think
you did really well. Yeah. I think there's a couple of points in there we will break down. So firstly, that is brutal. Like there's nothing more that crushes an individual than like hearing
about
like their ex is going, like having a great time and like going out and getting with people and like you don't want to hear those experiences. So by opening yourself up to hearing them, first step to feeling shit. Yeah,
that's honestly, I don't know the dynamic between you two, but I feel as though that's like if you're not doing the same to her kind of thing, like maybe it's mutual, maybe you're telling her about some girl you slept with kind of thing and like it's kind of mutual, but from this story it doesn't really sound like it. I feel like, mate, like you guys, so first thing is you don't own anyone. Like they can do whatever they want and they're free to make their own choices. If you are in like a committed relationship, then obviously like you wouldn't be doing that, but so she's not committed to you in the first place now because you guys are broken up. So you need to understand like she's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that is really difficult to hear because obviously you've still got really heavy feelings for this person.
Yeah.
And you're hearing about all of this other stuff and Mate, I feel you, honestly. That is really, really tough to hear.
I suppose like that's that thing of blocking people, like going back to that question earlier, is like you're kind of stopping yourself from seeing a lot of that, you know, and you're stopping yourself from seeing a lot of hurt. Like I'm not going to go into me, but like you're out of a long-term relationship. Let's say like you're 6 months on from a long-term relationship. Well, in actual fact, they've definitely gotten with someone. Like they've definitely been with someone else, and it's like that crushes you. But if you can try and just like stop yourself from thinking about it, or limit those chances of actually thinking about it, then you're gonna do a whole lot better, I think. And that's that thing of like you're still catching up with your ex, and like
not good
on terms that aren't like a relationship, or it's not kind of intimate.
Doesn't work.
Ain't happening.
I think this is something I've experienced, but it was a realization I had a few years ago where like you don't own anyone and humans are out here procreating with other humans.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
If you're not in a relationship with them, like this is what animals do. This is what every species does. Like they go out and they find a mate and
I like that.
Whatever. It's just as simple as that. You don't own this person. Like detach the feeling from it. Like they were a chapter in your book. Go put it in your library.
Yeah.
You're no longer with them. They can do whatever they want. You take your investment out of this company, mate.
Yeah, I like that kind of looking at it as though it's just like procreating.
It's a hard fact of life you need to swallow. And I remember I had a really tough time kind of swallowing that pill, but it's just the fact of life. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Nah, totally. That's a great way to think about it. And if you want to get really like specific as well, like let's say you're really nervous about them like going out and having sex with someone else. It's like putting it into context, like sex, okay, it's like pretty intimate and stuff, but like is what it is, mate.
No, it's just
it's
like
sex.
shaking someone's hand.
Shake a paw, sinner's hand. It's like,
oh god.
Oh no.
Like
I don't know what you're doing, bro. I don't think that's how it works.
Mate, just I'm just gonna tell you, you need to move. Like this is sorry to put a label on it, but this is a toxic situation. It's making you feel worse. You need to detach and get your investment out of this company. Move on. Start hustling on your own life.
Yep.
Start seeing other people.
Shake other people's hands.
Yeah, exactly right, mate.
In more ways than one.
Yeah.
Start shaking, brother.
Mate, this is the most vulgar podcast
Shake
I've
and
ever
bake,
done.
baby.
But yeah, swallow that pill, mate. It's just a fact of life. People die, you know. Swallow that one too, mate. I'm hitting you with it all.
Fucking low. Grim as podcast. We got another one.
Yeah.
I'm not reading it out. You are. You're Mr.
Right,
Reader.
we got Mr.
Story
I shouldn't make any bad jokes. The kid in class that just can't read. All right, so we got story 2. Story time. One time, me and my friends were staying at mine in Lorne, and we met some girls who invited us up to their place. A few drinks later, these older blokes rocked up from there. The night is a blur. Can only remember small details. We all started to feel extremely intoxicated. Somehow ended up home, and one of my mates stayed there and said sometime during the night, one of the guys came back and said, "I'm sorry I wasn't with him. I don't know him. Lock the doors and stay safe." Wait, have I skipped a sentence?
Nah, you're right. Keep going.
Stay safe. We were suspicious we had been spiked, but no certainty. Months went by. We got into contact with the girls who told us one of the guys was a registered sex offender and accidentally spiked our drinks instead of theirs. # I'm never drinking again.
Yeah, it's fucked.
That's scary.
That's scary. I think, you can kind of get a vibe from some people of what they're about. Sometimes you can't get a vibe, but I mean, you just have to stay safe out there.
One of the things, like, particularly when you're in a foreign country.
I've been spiked, yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing about. Do you want to speak
Yeah. Yeah, so I was in Vietnam for schoolies, and me and a mate went to like this bar, and I wasn't like spiked by like an individual. It was just the bar was selling like ethanol, like vodka for ethanol. So it's like a lot cheaper. I think it was ethanol or methylated spirits or whatever. It was hectic. And I had a few drinks, and it was like, I was just a mess. Like I was still conscious, but like I was nowhere. It was really kind of scary. And I managed to get home. But, you know, like putting that into perspective, I was thinking like if my sister was out there, or like, you know, like younger females in your life and stuff, or any female in your life, it's a whole lot more dangerous, isn't it?
Unfortunately, I have heard some real horror stories about this of people close to me, and it honestly just makes you wish you were there to kind of take care of them and stop it from happening, but it is so difficult. And
Yeah.
the reality is, like, not to gender profile, but like the reality is, like, girls are going to be extremely vulnerable, and there's a certain disgusting males that like prey on vulnerable girls and do this shit, man. It's
like,
just disgusting.
What happened to you to want to do that?
That is
like spiking someone's drink's got to be the lowest of.
That's
like scum.
That's
Doesn't get much
deplorable.
worse than that.
A couple of tips I was given from when I did travel overseas is purchase like a bottle, like a Corona in a bottle. If you
they
see
have
it
to
get
crack
opened, like keep your eyes on it.
Yeah.
And you're safe to drink that, and don't leave your drink anywhere.
Yeah, like put your thumb over it if you need to.
The other one is don't accept drinks from strangers. So if there's this, Ted Bundy looking fella buying you a drink at the bar, maybe don't accept it. Like if you don't know the guy.
Yeah.
Same with like first Tinder dates and things like that. I mean, I've been on first dates where I've bought girls drinks and things, but obviously I don't have that intention, but like they accepted the drink and things like that.
Yeah.
But I'd say maybe be a little bit wary about it. And if they do offer to get you a drink, maybe come with them to the bar and have a look at the bartender actually pouring it and that it hasn't been manipulated whatsoever.
Yeah, Tinder, that's like a whole new ball game because that can get dangerous.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like if you're getting a drink from like a mate who's buying it or someone you trust, then like you should be fairly okay.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be able to go out and enjoy your night. Like, I just reckon these experiences would make you like pretty nervous. You'd have some genuine PTSD.
I think it's pretty easy to keep your wits about you with these things.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
For most. We also hang around good people though, so
Yeah.
It's like easier said than done sometimes.
And we don't have many drinks bought for us, do we?
I've never had a drink bought for me. I think you bought me one last night.
Yeah, did I?
I think you complimented me in 2008 as well.
Yeah.
Still holding on to it. But yeah, that's not very much a relationship-y one.
But it is kind of this vibe, dating, things like that.
Dating.
But yeah, we're sorry to hear about your experience, mate. But we're glad that there was kind of no harm done, and hopefully those dodgy registered sex offenders are locked up.
Yeah, what a fucking pig.
Yeah, go get them.
They're disgusting. Yeah. Do you have anything else?
I think that's it. We do have a whole lot of other questions and things like that, but please, guys, keep sending all your queries and scenarios and just anything in about this stuff. So we really enjoy chatting about it. It's an interesting topic, and yeah,
it was brought up heaps last night when we were out. Like a lot of people are loving the breakup vibes.
Yeah.
So we can keep going on it if you guys are actually enjoying it, but actually like let us know if you're enjoying it because we're kind of just going in blind. But yeah, thanks so much for all your support. We are doing November. Gab's cycling 1,000 kilometers. We're doing Movember, rather.
November.
Gab's cycling 1,000 kilometers. I'm running 100 kilometers. If you want to support us, link in our bio on Instagram.
Doing that. And by the way, it's not just 1,000 kilometers and 100 kilometers.
Yeah.
It can't be, you run a 20k run at 6-minute pace. Get out of here with that stuff. You may as well walk. I'm sorry if that is the pace you run at, but come on.
Crawling.
We said for you can't do any kilometers
above
5-minute kilometer pace.
Yeah, which is pretty doable. I'm also only running 3 times a week, so I'm not doing like 3Ks a day. Like I'm doing 10Ks, 5Ks, 10Ks. What are you doing?
And you're moving. And for me, I didn't want to do 1,000 kilometers just like dilly daddling. I wanted to do it. It's putting down some power. So I have to hold 200 weighted average watts. And it's a bit of a challenge because, you can't just stuff around.
Just lastly on this topic, I was running around Caulfield Park the other day and flying, and I was gassed. And I actually went to a place in my head where I was actually thinking about the men in my life who we are kind of doing this for. And I found that helped. So if you are doing like Movember and stuff, actually dedicate a little bit of time, if it's on your run or a different time, to think about why you're doing this. Like it's not just so you can throw up an Instagram story. It's so we can actually make a change. This is
for
men's
me.
mental
I
health.
think we and I most relate to it because of that chat about men's mental health, and because we are so, open about men showing their emotions, the pain we go through, the conversations, the difficult conversations that need to be had. Like, I've been in situations, I've literally cried in front of friends, and just letting it all out. Like, these conversations are difficult to have, and it's important to open up, and we all go through these painful experiences, and I just worry that a lot of us don't feel comfortable enough to tell these people about it. Like for me, I've got good friends I can call up anytime or
Yep.
that will ask me. I've got family I can always open up to. We need to be having these conversations because it's a classic saying, but a problem shared is a problem halved, and it really does put it into perspective. Sure. Instead of you being locked up in your room and this problem eating away at you or this pain eating away at you, you kind of let it out, and it just makes it all better.
Yep. So really think about that, guys. And sorry to leave with a rant, but I think it's good. Mm-hmm. You guys are legends, and we really appreciate all the support. We'll see you in the comments. We'll see you in the DMs, and we'll see you out.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
See ya.